We didn't get the opportunity to talk movies last week with Polo. We got him on right now.
From the legendary Warner Fez Studios in a predominantly white neighborhood, Warner Fez presents Showtime with the Polo.
Yeah, hey, Polo, your life's a movie.
Yeah, Polo, your life's a movie.
Your life's a movie, Polo.
Well, hi, Paul.
Hello.
We missed you last week.
I understand. I don't know exactly what happened.
No one does. That's the beauty of it.
Thank you.
I just say stay tuned, Polo.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Polo?
Yes, sir.
What was the big movie last week?
Okay, well, obviously Cinderella Man was the big, that everybody was fawning over Russell Crowe last week.
Is this a remake of Cinderella?
No, actually not at all. Not at Cinderella. Cinderella was a remake of Cinderella, but this is a Cinderella Man. I mean, Cinderella was with a guy, Jerry Lewis, but Cinderella, of course, was a girl. Cinderella Man.
All right, let me just interrupt you for a second and say, a crazy gent keeps writing to me that Destiny's Child has a summer tour, and they're going to be given $1 billion to do it. And you'll wonder why she loses bets. $1 billion.
No, that's not going to happen.
No.
All right, so go ahead, Paul.
They wouldn't even give ABBA $1 billion at this point.
Now you're talking, my friend.
Okay, anyway, the Cinderella Man, obviously, story. The thing is, everybody was patting Russell Crowe on the back last week, and I was actually kind of chomping at the bit to rip the man down last week. And then, of course, he goes out and makes an ass of himself as usual, this week. So, I mean, I would have...
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with the movie. That's his personal
Yeah,
life.
but, first of all, he's a good actor, fine. But ever since he became Maximus, he's turned into the biggest jerk in the world. I can't stand him, and I haven't... forget what he did this week. I was so angry just seeing his face last week.
Yeah, were you cheering for Max Baer to beat him?
Believe me, first of all, the movie's okay and it's good, but if anything, the more interesting story is the Max Baer story, which, You know
what? That's what my chick said. She goes, I'd rather be watching the Max Baer movie. He seems like he's a more fun guy.
Just walking around in fur coats.
He's absolutely a more fun guy, and, and that was the thing that really upset me last week, was that he was ripping his co-star, Craig Berko, who actually was turned down for the Chandler role on Friends at one point. I mean, he turned it down. He's a great actor, and he does a great job as Max Baer. And Russell Crowe is attacking him, his own co-star.
But none of that stuff has to do with the movie.
It does.
If you're a gossip cone, I'm sure I'd sit and discuss it with you, Paulo, but...
I'm walking into the theater...
You're supposed to review the film.
I'm walking into the theater seething with anger. I don't want to even go to the movie. I want to go into a steel cage match with Russell Crowe.
He'd kill you.
I'm saying right now, Russell Crowe, if you're out there, I swear to you,
well, he is
come,
out.
You little bitch, I will kill you. I will kill you.
Why are you that angry?
I am that angry because he was a good actor one time. He was a nice, humble actor who did great performances. He does that stinking Gladiator movie, and he goes nuts. He goes completely nuts, and I don't understand it.
Is it the Oscar that did it?
The Oscar, he was nuts as soon as people started calling him Maximus. He just turned.
Yeah, that's because it's not his name.
Anyway, I saw this Cinderella movie. I liked the Jerry Lewis one better. I didn't think it was a good film. I thought it was a very run-of-the-mill, catch it on cable.
Run-of-the-mill. What it was is very...
And it got great reviews.
Old school. And then, you know what? And I couldn't... And, some of the reviewers I hate the
colleagues?
most were gushes. Like Linda Schwartzbaum. Boy, do I hate that. That's another one I want to say.
Another cage match?
Another cage match. I really would like to smack her. Anyway, the point is...
You know what, Paulo? You should be heard nationally.
Yeah.
Don't you think so, Fez?
Yeah.
We should work on that very soon and get Paulo heard nationally. People need to hear this stuff.
From coast to coast, Paulo.
Well, you know what I'm saying is that I would gladly get into a steel cage match with any critic. But, I mean, right now it's Russell Crowe, Lisa Schwartzbaum, Joel Siegel. That's the list I have.
You hate them, huh?
In that order. That's your kill list.
Did you ever even know who this Schwartzbaum is that he's so frustrated?
I have no idea.
Never heard of her.
She is with Entertainment Weekly, but she hates...
Oh, EW.
Yeah. And then I would, if it was a card match, I would do Ebert and
Movies are getting worse. Let's just admit it. Now, I was very excited about the Batman movie.
Yeah.
Early reviews look pretty bad.
Well, I've seen it. I've seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I've seen a lot of things, so I can't talk about them yet. But Well, we'll talk about Mr. and Mrs. Smith tomorrow.
But just cough if you like Batman. I didn't hear a cough, Fez.
No, that wasn't a cough, and that makes me nervous, Paulo.
I'll tell you right up front.
I don't want you having healthy lungs when
okay,
it comes to this movie.
Let me say to you, you say that it's getting a lot of bad reviews. I don't agree. I see the reviews are pretty high. As a matter of fact, I
think Variety tagged it. Time Magazine tagged it.
Well,
great.
The easiest place to go to get a general consensus is Rotten Tomatoes, and
that's where I went.
And they've got an 82% favorable, which is
yeah, but
82%. That stinks.
That's very good. Actually.
Here's the problem, Paulo. Not with the big critics. I'll go over and check it out. But it looks like they get about a 50 with the big critics.
Well, like the Longest Yard got a 31% for
What did?
The Longest Yard got a 31%.
Yeah, and that stunk.
Well, exactly, but that's more conformity with the. I can't talk about.
So what do? You go read Rotten Tomatoes.
No,
and
I
see what the consensus is, and then you try to do the same thing.
You're Rotten Paul. It's Rotten Paul's movie review.
Now, you know what? I went there, and he's right. It is an 82%, so he must be checking these.
Oh, he's plugged right into it.
All right, Variety bad review.
Oh.
Hollywood Reporter liked.
All right, if you want to say
the New Yorker hate it.
Man.
And Time Magazine hate it.
If you want to say I do anything, maybe I do the reactionary. I go.
It's gonna sting. Put the nipples back on the suit.
So out of the real stuff, Fezzy, not shadowsonthewall.com and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. But out of the big ones so far, 40%.
Okay, let me
favorable.
say this. It's an 82%, which is a very...
I wanted it to be good, Paulo.
Me too.
First of all, I'm not trying to bring it down by any means. I'm going to say right up front, it's a good film.
You made it.
No, it's a good film, and I can say this about it. It's completely going the opposite direction from the Shoemaker debacle. The Shoemaker debacle, the Batman.
All right, let me ask you this, Paulo. I went and seen Lords of Dogtown over the weekend.
Yeah.
Really liked it. Thought it was a fine little movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know they got a lot of press. There was a big ad campaign, and it looked like nobody showed up.
Okay, well, can I say, if I may, the thing that I think,
yes, you can say anything.
Okay, is that this is almost an illustration of my credo. Your life is a movie, because here is an example of a life that we will never experience living in that area of the West Coast and skateboarding in swimming pools and empty swimming pools and running around. We're not going to live that life. We're observing this small little slice of life that we've never seen before.
Yeah, like a little subculture. People at the time didn't know it was big, and now it proves to be historic.
Right. So it is clearly a subculture, and on top of that, it not only so the subculture, a lot of people might not be into it, but on top of that, there was a movie that it sort of almost takes from, because it's by the same people, which was the
documentary,
the Dogtown and Z Boys, which was a documentary.
Right.
So a lot of people who are in that culture say, well, this movie is about posers and actors, and that's not the real thing. We want to see the documentary, which was us, really, the real thing. So it split whatever audience it had up. Yeah. I mean, those people who don't care about it are not going to go, and the people who do care about it are thinking, well, no, it's posers and actors. But you're right, it's a nice little movie, and I think for those people who are interested in that slice of life, it's great.
Fez, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it, and I loved it. I thought it was a great movie.
Right. And I'm just saying, their lives is a movie, and that's, but, I guess you could see the whole punk attitude and they have almost like they're too good for regular people, because they're, these punk freaks who, hang out in junked out cars and ride around in empty swimming pools. It's almost like they're better than everybody else. You got
for riding in junky cars?
Well, you get that feeling.
I'm missing your point.
No, the point is that they've achieved this thing, this little world of theirs where they can do something better than anyone else, and that makes them better than anyone in their own mind. It's like, oh yeah, we're better than everyone else. And that's kind of how I felt about the way they thought about things. That's why they were limited, and that's why their lives kind of didn't go anywhere, except for the one guy who realized it was just about the money.
Two guys made a lot of money, but, that's not so bad.
I understand.
Tony Alva made a lot of money. Maybe it didn't come off that way, but he made a lot of cash for himself. And still is making cash. They're all making cash today.
But I still want to say that if Russell Crowe's out there,
You'll fight him?
I really would like to fight you. I know now you're acting like a little wimp on Letterman and all of that now, and you're trying to act like I'm not the angry guy.
You're getting in his kitchen now. Now you're trying to attack his manhood.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do anything to get this guy in the ring.
Would you spit in his wife's face?
Well, I would prefer not to bring his family.
I mean, if that's what all it took to get the fight going, would you spit in her face?
Well, I can say something not so nice about her now, probably.
Kind of play that Max Baer role.
Yeah. You're the Max Baer of movie reviews.
And you heard
Max Baer Jr.
Jethro Bodine was not happy about the way his father was portrayed.
I had heard that before I went to the film, so I really expected it to be bad. It wasn't that bad. It's the way fighters talk to each other before a fight.
I just kind of had the feeling that no matter what happened and no matter how Max Baer Sr. was portrayed in this movie, we were going to hear from Jethro. There was no way around it.
All right, here's my problem with Jethro. Would you please stop acting like you're going to open a casino? It's been 25 years now. You've had that model of the oil derelict, and it's going to be and it never happened.
He's always looking at some property, some mall that's going to be demolished for his Beverly Hillbillies casino.
In the meantime, 600 casinos have been built in the last 25 years, and you're the only one who's still talking about it. No one wants you. You're not going to get it done.
And it's really time to start wearing some sleeves.
I'd rather see him go back and open up Mammoth Pictures and go back to being a big movie producer like he was. All right, Paulo.
But you got to admit the tie-in with the cement pond with the dog pond.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is that Max Baer was a great fighter who became a champion and then started whoring and drinking and blew it all. It's a great story, and I would really rather have seen that story.
I would love to just say I'd call it Father of Jethro and see how it worked out.
I agree.
I was hoping we would see a scene where Mrs. Baer calls and says, "I'm pregnant." And if it's a boy, it'll be Max Baer Jr.
And or
Buddy Epson sitting in the front row at the fight or something like that.
Well, this is what Jethro said. He said that his father was actually a good man and a nice man, and was very upset that he killed a guy in the ring, and he actually couldn't fight for a while or didn't do very well in the ring for a while because he was so kind of upset about it. It wasn't something where he was gloating.
Look, it's not his film. It's somebody else's film.
Yeah, well, he said that he used to respect Ron Howard more than
Once he has that casino money coming in, he can do the real Max Baer Sr. story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now the Vatican's on Ron Howard for that Da Vinci movie, too. So this guy just can't seem to stay away from controversy.
Well, you know what? That Da Vinci Code's going to stink. I'm going to say it, but it's still going to stink. I don't care what anybody says. All right, Paulo, we'll do this week's movies with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Fezzi, any plan to watch the Tyson fight on Saturday night?
They keep saying that it's the way they're selling it is it's Mike Tyson. Anything could happen.
Right.
So they're hoping for someone to get an ear bitten or something. Not that you're going to get a good fight, but you're going to see a maniac go nuts again.
Or he might not show up, or he might show up and win. But, I would definitely want to see this for $45. That's asking for a lot of money for a guy. We don't even know who he's fighting, and it's tough not to. Is Ali's daughter fighting before him?
Yeah, she's on the card.
Man, I might get it. I might just get it.
And, he's going to gut that fighter. That's what he said. He's going to gut that fighter.
Yeah,
I don't know
what does
that mean.
He's
going to take a knife into the ring and gut him?
He also said that he's thinking about going to Africa and being a missionary because he feels like he can't make it in the United States anymore. And he goes, if you put me next to Jeffrey Dahmer and say, which one of these people ate somebody, most people would pick me. That would crack me up that he even had to say that.
Well, we don't know too much about his personal life, so I wouldn't know for sure.
Well, I know that he's going to eat somebody.
Didn't he talk about eating babies
I know that
before?
he's not it.
I think he talked about eating babies before.
He did say he was going to either eat the baby or have sex with some hideous crazy talk.
So what? We're wrong in thinking that? I'm sorry, Mike. I want to get in a steel cage with Mike Tyson.
And Russell Crowe? How about a three-way dance?
Yeah, exactly.
You, Tyson, Crowe.
Three men enter.
Tyson, you're scared.
One reviewer walks out.
All right, boss. I'm sorry.
All right.
Maybe I
talk
went
to you
too
tomorrow
crazy.
night,
I don't
Paulo.
want Tyson in the ring with me. What am I talking about?
I like this new angry Paulo, Fezzi.
Okay.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, but maybe
Finally,
I went too
a
far.
reviewer that wants to back it up.
Yeah.
In the cage. In Thunderdome.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm thinking of going to Philly in July the 4th to see a big concert. So I don't know if that's.
Are you really going for that?
I'm thinking. I'm trying to make the plans now. Yeah, that should be. They got a big concert on the 2nd and the 4th. It sounds like it's going to be a crazy city. Is it a safe city?
Yeah, of course. It's like it's America's little town.
Yeah,
it's nothing now.
Is there any areas I should stay out of if I go to Philadelphia?
No, I want you to go right into West Philly, and I want you to start fighting with every black person you can till they kill you.
Okay.
I want you to wear a shirt that says "Narc" and drive around West Philly.
Any advice you can give me would be...
Just picture them all as Russell Crowe.
Okay. I just need advice.
And start swinging.
Okay.
All right, see you later, man.
All right.
Man, he's nothing but trouble now, huh, Fez?
Yeah, I don't know why the angry reviewer.
He hates Russell Crowe.
And this telephone story hasn't helped him any. He was ticked before Russell Crowe got arrested.
Yeah,
again.
he was. I mean, I gotta agree with him. I thought it was not a good movie. And I have no idea why the reviewers were acting like it was just perfect.
Well, it's everything you've seen before in a fight movie.
Yeah, they've already done it like in the 30s.